Sir with 6, Robinson with 6, so both leading scorers for teams having 6 points. And points in the paint, though, this is the issue that I'm seeing now. The Miracles, all their points in the paint, 12 to 2 the edge for Moncton.
Yeah.
Once, you know, the Rainmen are weak at guard right now in depth.
Yeah.
But with the size of the posts, allowing Moncton to get to the basket, there's got to be something that's addressed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The adjustment needs to be made. Like I said, they need to basically rotate over when the ball's skipped and the ball is basically moving the defense. The defense has to move with it. The ball will move faster than the player. The player has to move almost as equally fast to get in the position.
5:14 left here is the Johnny Mahan in the game now for the Miracles. And Mahan, a guy that Dennis Truax was saying could be the 6th man of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see what energy he brings in off the bench. Passed off to Robinson, picked up by Barber over the outstretched hand of Barber. And there's an offensive rebound by Jamil Terrell.
Extending the offense again. Second chance opportunities.
Nice hesitation there and turnaround by Jermaine Dailey.
And they're 3 for 3 in second chance opportunities with the extension of the possession. Achilles heel thus far this season for this Rainmen organization.
Shot and a block there by Jamil Terrell, and the other way come the Miracles, and Cooley trying to add another steal to the wall, but he will be unsuccessful in that attempt as Terrell working on the baseline. Leaves it weak side, and Robinson the miss, but the Rainmen got to start watching out the weak side defense down low.
We keep talking about that deep weak side rotation. Got to identify where the immediate threat is. If the help comes, the other secondary guy in the lane, he has to come down and fill that position and block out.
Travel called on Tim Parham. Great collapsing defense on by the Miracles on Parham. Is left underneath by Cooley, and Parham really had nowhere to go with the basketball.
Absolutely not. They had 3 guys waiting in that painted area, and that's going to be, you know, like we talked about, they want to try to make sure that they're there waiting for Juwan Cooley.
Cornelius Vines with some handle and a spin move leaves it underneath for Jamil Terrell.
Nice creativity off the dribble there by Vines.
Pull-up jumper in and out, and it's going to be last touch by the Miracles, so the Rainmen will have a new shot clock with 3:21 left.
You got to take advantage of these second chance opportunities. Might want to look to something here out of the inbound. Get Steve Sir coming off a couple screens, give him a wide open look.
Now Barber holding in the mid-range, pops it out to Cooley. Cooley will shoot. Doesn't get to go underneath. A nice rebound there by Parham, but he can't get the ball to Sir. Stolen by Dailey. Pass over, and it's going to be shot and good by Johnny Mahan.
There's that guy that Truax dubbed 6th man of the year coming off the bench. Nice heads-up play in that outlet pass by Vines. Good heads-up play there. And the easy jump shot, wide-open jump shots at the professional level. If you can't hit a wide-open jump shot, you won't be playing professional basketball for very long.
Sir, from the top of the key, no good. And now the Miracles have numbers as here comes Cornelius Vines. Skip pass, and they're saying he stepped out.
Rainmen got lucky there. Vines had a wide-open look. Rainmen in the midst of a 7-0 run here by the Moncton Miracles coming out of that timeout. As we take a quick look down the bench of the Halifax Rainmen.
Well, George Gooden and Kalon Riley.
Yeah, Coach Terrell going to the second unit. What do you think about that second unit? It's got to be very pivotal today, man.
Pivotal, but, Good put up some nice numbers in the preseason, but so far we're trying to see what he can do in the regular season.
Yeah, you got to basically the preseason has to transform over to the regular season. George Good needs to have a big game coming off the bench. The second unit most desperately has to outscore the Miracles second unit.
Right now, Good only averaging 12.5 a game as Passed over to Cooley. Cooley, collapsing defense. Now it's going to be tipped over to Good, and Good short on the shot. It's going to be Rainmen basketball.
Good activity there on that half-court set. Good rotation there. Steve Sir heads up play with the tap back to George Good. And great effort on the offensive end, offensive rebounding there by Raven Barber inside the post.
And to Cooley. And he puts up a high arcing shot, and that goes.
If Cooley can get that part of his game going, if he can get that part of his game going, hitting jump shots while the defense sags off him, he's going to be very, very difficult to defend. And great fight there in the post there by Kayvon Riley, not giving up any inches there. Forces the offensive foul. That's what you need out of your second unit, that type of energy, especially on the defensive end.
Passed over to Sir, and a screen coming as Good rolls to the basket. We'll get it down to Barber. Barber, very short hook, loose basketball. Still loose, and it's going to end up in the hands of Miracles guard Jermaine Dailey. Flopped up, and on Cornelius Vines.
Well, I tell you what,
able to fire that up.
Cornelius Vines has impressed me thus far with his ability to look up the court and make that long outlet pass to his player that's closer to the rim. He's made some nice passes distributing the basketball. I'm pretty impressed with his ability to make that nice assist, that basically unselfish assist.
3 assists from Vine, as George Good is able to get Stanley Robinson off his feet, go off the glass and in, the Timmy Duncan shot.
Tim Duncan's made a living off the bank.
And that one is Cornelius Vine saying, I see your bank, and I'll raise you one for a 3-point play.
Yeah, Cornelius Vine stepping up in the last 6 minutes offensively for this Moncton Miracle team. Distributing basketball with 3 assists and his ability to create his own offense as well there. Forcing a foul there and his opportunity at a 3-point play.
Trayvon Lathan checking in the game now for the Miracles with 45.7 left here in the first quarter. Miracles up 23-16. Make it 24. As Vines gets his first points of the day. Here's Cooley. Cooley leaves it for Good. Good for 3, in and out on the shot. Lathan the rebound, and the Miracles could go for a 2-for-1 opportunity here. It's off to Vines. Vines calling back for Lathan. Now Vines is trying to create some penetration on Cooley. No good on the shot there, and George Good underneath for the rebound to make it a 1-and-done. Rainmen will hold for last shot here. As
Rain got to close it out strong here. They need a bucket.
Cooley almost loses the handle, and Vines is going to get called for the foul.
If Vine is very important to this Moncton Miracle team offensively, if he needs to stick around, he needs to basically just stay in front of Juwan Cooley. He's not going to be able to steal the ball from Juwan Cooley. Juwan Cooley is just way too quick with his dribble penetration, is able to handle the basketball. He needs to basically stay in front of him, control Juwan Cooley, not allow him to break him down and blow by him with the dribble so that the double team comes up and Cooley's able to distribute the basketball to wide open shooters.
That's Vine's second foul, and a guy that the Miracles cannot see get into foul trouble.
No, they cannot thus far. The way he's been playing in the last 6 minutes, they need Vines on the court if they're going to be successful this afternoon. Being the bulk of the 24 points, Vines has his hand in there with that bulk of those 24 points, distributing the basketball and creating his own offense on the other side as well. So they really need him to be part of this second and third and fourth quarter if they're going to be able to stick around with this Rainmen team on the road.
Our next home game on the 17th when the St. John Millrats make their way back to town. It's a 2 p.m. tip-off. Be able to catch myself and Vince on the game as always. Rainmen down 8, trying to cut into this lead before the quarter break. And this might be where you see, well, it looks as if Sir is going to be inbounding the basketball.
Yeah, 1.8 seconds is not a lot of time. Basically look to get the ball in the hands of your best distributor, that is Juwan Cooley, allow him to create off the bounce, but
lobs it up to Barber, and that'll take us to the end.
There you go. What do I know?
Of the first quarter. Miracles up 24-16. Mavs and Vince here with the Rainmen webcast. Right now, the Rainmen are getting outscored 16-2 points in the paint. What do they have to do in the second quarter to correct that stat?
Well, basically, they need to rotate on the backside and make sure that they find the backside, the opponent, and make sure they rebound and defend and make sure they get out in the transition and create their offensive transition. And basically, effectively in the fourth quarter, they got to win the fourth quarter. That's the bottom line. Got to play strong in the fourth quarter.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the second quarter. Pass down low, and it's going to be a travel call on Trayvon Latham.
And that's the start that they wanted to come out of this first quarter break in the midst of that 11-2 run. Sorry, correct, 11-4 run there in the last 6 minutes. Got to be able to defend there. It's going to be the bottom line. You limit it with the limited roster. Got to make stops, and you got to create offense on the transition.
Down to Good, nice pass over. And it's going to be up and in by number 2, Kaylon Riley.
Kaylon Riley, second unit opportunity there, coming off the bench. Going to be very pivotal with him to contribute on the offensive end. Nice jump shot and nice offensive half-court possession there by the Rain.
Another travel called against the Miracles. Back up comes Cooley. Cooley only 2 today, but distributing the basketball has been something he's been doing. Go to screen set by Nortman. Our first look at him tonight. Pull up by Good. Good gets that to go for a long 2 on the baseline.
That's huge coming off of that dribble penetration and blow by there by Juwan Cooley. George Good's got to get it going. We talked about Good contributing. Only 12 points thus far. Had a great preseason. Good needs to basically come good off the bench and basically contribute. Pardon the pun. It was just too easy.
It's just too good. Mahan on the miss and back the other way. Comes Good. He'll leave it for Cooley. Cooley has his progress cut off as he felt the pressure coming from Mahan. Now here comes going to be Last touch by Cooley, knocked out of his hands by Mahan. Nice defense there.
Yeah, a little switch in the defensive roles there by the Moncton Miracles. Going with Mayhem, a bigger guard, to try to stay in front of Juwan Cooley. One of the major keys to this game, controlling the distribution and the penetration of Juwan Cooley. So nice play there by Mayhem.
Drive and a foul coming, so 2 shots for Trayvon Lathan.
In the limited action that we've seen this Mayhem, what do you think?
I'm enjoying seeing the energy he's bringing off the bench. I'm liking his defensive intensity as well.
Yeah.
And he's recognizing, he's recognizing he's got to stop ball.
Right.
Coming down the court, and there's been too many times this game for Moncton where Cooley's been bringing the ball up and he's not getting picked up until 10 feet to the basket.
And that's way too late. 10 feet away from the basket, he can do 2 things. Distribute it to a wide open player or create his own shot.
And that was a nice pass by Mahan as well down to Trayvon Lathan.
And that's the second possession that this Halifax Rainmen team has fell asleep, not rotating over.
And a 3-second violation called. Going to be another turnover here. 9:45 left here in the second.
Too many PJ Carlissimo moments
My
here.
God, I don't. Stop to.
You're thinking this is not Vince. This is PJ.
I don't know what's
Where
going
did
on
PJ
here.
come from?
Oh, there's a shot by Mahan. I think you're too busy yelling incomplete at the Loney Bowl yesterday.
No, I don't think that's
too busy yelling at the game.
No.
I know me and Mitch Williams were giving you a little yell when we saw Stripes wearing 42 on the sideline as Sir keeps it alive. Nice dribble there and down to Nortman. Nortman trying to bully his way into the paint but can't get that to go. Underneath is a rebound for Anto Rack.
Yeah, Nortman's got to make that shot in the lane. He's got to be able to finish at the rim. Great to see he's being assertive and attacking the defense of the Miracles, but he's got to finish at the rim. You get those opportunities, they don't come too often in a limited role. You got to be able to finish at the rim.
Parham and let's see who is else checking in here for the Rain.
You got a stoppage in play to reset the shot clock. Officials and Dennis Truax talking about where the shot clock should be. So we got to reset the 20 here.
9 minutes left here in the second. As it's inbounded by DeRoche. DeRoche thought about lobbing it at the net, but they back off the Rack. Rack with a nice bit of facial hair going there. He's kind of got a little goatee going.
Nothing gets by you, right?
No, as batted around and into the hands of Good.
Who's your facial hair? It's Movember. You're not starting your Movember mustache.
There will be no facial hair on this man. None. I can't do it. Although, you know what? I'm going to say this. I was at NSCC last week.
Right.
And for Movember startup, they had someone, a girl in doing straight razor shaves. And
right.
I shaved that day, but I was like, I talked to her and she said, well, you got to wait a couple days of growth before getting that done. So if you see me scruffy in the next, you're going to see me scruffy during my radio week because no one will see me. And a big dunk there by Tim Parham. That was a slam dunk, and going for the straight razor shave on a Saturday morning will be my slam dunk in 2 weeks.
To the folks out there, we're going on a boat school. We're basically 2 students that are involved in radio and television on the side of broadcast journalism. And Mavs is just giving you a day in life of Vince and Mavs at school. Sorry to bore you, though, but we always need to talk. It's a little parlay into the more serious business at hand here at the Metro C between the Halifax Rainmen and the Moncton Miracles.
Oh, it's just got a chat. We're loving our hoops.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're talking facial hair. I see a nice facial hair there by Mahan.
Right. He's got the Movember going on. Great cause, Movember.
It is a good cause, and I will support it. I just can't grow a mustache. Right. Can't do it.
It will look kind of weird.
You got something going?
Well, no.
You've had the mustache before.
I've had the mustache. My mustache is more so in a stylish thing. It's not so much as for Movember. if I grow the mustache, it'd be like, well, you're really not growing it for November because it's more to a stylistic thing.
Yeah, I just don't do it. I can't. Not that I can't. I mean, I can grow facial hair. I have
just would look kind of.
I have gone through puberty.
It would
back the other way come the Rainmen now. As don't judge it by the 5'6". Passed over to Sir, nice touchdown, and it's going to be. It's not going to be a chance for a three-point play, but Parham's going to go shoot two as he's getting physical around the rim.
But you got to like the nice ball movement on that half-court set. The ability to distribute the basketball quite quickly, moving the defense, and giving your offensive guy an opportunity at an easy look. And it was a great touch pass there by Steve Sir. A no-look touch pass to Parham, and Parham just not able to make that dunk, but able to draw up a foul. See if he can dial in and knock down these two from the free-throw line.
Missed on the first. Good on the second. So back come the Miracles of Lathan. Leaves it in the corner. Nice pass down on the baseline. It's off to Dailey, and now Mahan. Woo! Johnny Mahan.
Wow, that's a great shot there on the rotation there by Mayhem. Outstanding defense to close out by Juwan Cooley, but the defense was beaten by a great jumper there by Mayhem. Mayhem, pretty impressive coming off the bench.
Count it. No basket. It's a foul at the elbow, and
disbelief on both sides by Coach Chris Terrell and Dennis Truax. Truax thinking that maybe there was an offensive foul with a moving screen, and Coach Terrell's thinking that and one should have been good, but only in the association is continuation allowed.
Drive, and there's another play around the net that can't finish. Now, well, that wasn't finished. Jermaine Dailey trying to come back for the tomahawk.
Well, he got lucky. Jermaine Dailey able to out-hustle Tim Parham up and down the court. Parham just a little discouraged. He wasn't able to make it the basket underneath the on the last possession, but didn't get back in transition. And Dailey blows the dunk.
Pull up by good. In and out, no good. And back the other way comes DeRoche. DeRoche will leave it for Mahan. And Mahan crossover, top of the arc, and just beat Steve Sir to the net.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
35-23.
Going to be a big-time problem there for Steve Sir, trying to guard Mayhem off the dribble. Mayhem, a more offensively minded player. A little quicker than Steve Sir. Sir just basically got to contain him, get in front of him, hope for the help to come up the lane, and force to get the ball out of his hands, not inside that painted area.
Underneath, counting the foul there by Tim Parham.
There you go, the effectiveness of the half-court set and the ability of Juwan Cooley to break down his defender with the blow-by dribble. And Parham on the other side can get it done in the lane with some nice hands, catching and finishing at the rim. This time was able to finish and set himself up for a three-point play. Lead still there for the Miracles, a 10-point lead. Parham trying to cut into that lead. He does it, the three-point play, but it's got to start down here on the defensive end. The maturation of the defense has to come in all four quarters. We spoke about it in the pregame. It's got to transform.
Well, when you got Anto Rack making shots like that, one touch and in early in the shot clock, it's not going to help the Rainmen cause.
Yeah, definitely discouraging when you have the right defense and set, in place, and guys are challenging the shooters, and they're just able to, basically beat the defense, knocking down tough shots. And the last, two possessions by the Miracles, two tough shots knocked down by their half-court set.
Underneath, and great ball movement by the Miracles. No good, and there is Lathan around the rim with the offensive putback. Doesn't get that to go, and no one put a body on him. And, I'm going to say the last defensive rebound for the Miracles, I believe it was Mahan. Yeah. Mahan came soaring in from nowhere, untouched.
Right.
The Rainmen got to start picking up who they have on the rebounding side of things. There's another rebound there for DeRoche. And that rebounding edge that the Rainmen had is slowly evaporating as Maine bangs the triple.
I guess Dennis Truax has basically hit it on the head about Maine. You cannot let Mahan knock down easy, wide open jumpers. That's the second wide open jumper he's had, and he's knocked it down. He's destroying this Halifax half-court defense coming off the bench. Can't allow the second unit to come in and be this effective.
And a shot clock violation against the Rainmen. Takes us to the media timeout. They are down 41-26 with 4:32 left here in the second quarter. And I'm seeing it right now. Bench scoring 20-6 for the Moncton Miracles. That's 14 by Mahan, of course. As we said, Dennis Truax saying 6th man of the year. When you're coming out and putting 14 points up and it's not even halftime and you're coming off the bench,
very quickly,
you're in the contention of 6th man of the year. And right now, 20-6 as well. Points in the paint.
Yeah. Too many points in the paint. That means that your defense is getting broken down individually, one-on-one. Your help defense is not coming. The ability of guys blown by the defender, getting in that area, being able to distribute the basketball unselfishly, not forcing any tough shots, and finding the open man and finishing at the rim has basically been the Achilles heel of this Rainmen defense. They need to do a better job defensively in help. Guys, all 5 guys need to be aware where the immediate threat is coming from. If it's coming from the bounce, they need to step in the lane, make sure that the ball stays outside the painted area, and force this Miracle team to knock down jump shots. But on the other side about jump shots, the Miracles are knocking down jumpers as well. Shots that are wide open and shots that are being challenged. So,
well, right now, 17 of 33 from the floor. The Miracles are. The Rainmen 11 of 30. But it's been 5 of 7, Johnny Mahan.
Yeah.
And
that's outstanding numbers coming off the bench in the second unit.
I made the joke with Truax when he said Mahan. I thought he said Mayhem. And I'm thinking, if you got a guy coming off the bench and his name's Mayhem,
he better cause it.
He is going to cause it. He is causing the mayhem right now.
And maybe that's his nickname there on the other side of things. Because right now, like you said, 14 points in less than 8 minutes off the bench. That's big-time numbers for any team in any particular league, professional or amateur. Your second unit can outscore the opposition's second unit, knowing that the second units play a very pivotal role in a basketball game and in the ebb and flow of runs. Then you know you're on the right track and you're putting yourself in good position to win ball games.
Lathan now picked up by Harris, as Lathan will go over Harris. No good in the shot, and a nice rebound by Tim Parham.
And that's a start right there, to one and done.
Just over 4 left as Parham rolls to the basket, but Cooley says, no, I can't get it over the length of Lathan. Now Cooley goes on Lathan, and there's that length of Lathan that I talked about as he blocks the layup. Miracles have numbers out and running, and it's a foul coming. Jermaine Dailey will shoot 2.
Yeah, that's a big mismatch there. If, 6'9", defending a 5'11" guard, if he can move his feet and get himself in position, he was able to do that on that defensive possession, blocking that shot of Cooley in the lane. It's going to be going to make it very difficult for this Rainmen half-court offense if Juwan Cooley's not able to distribute the basketball and create off the bounce and create shots for himself and create open looks for his teammates. Because you're only as good as your defense. If your defense can basically not avoid the double teams in the lane, then that's a good thing.
Here comes Cooley now. Cooley passes over to Barber. A nice swing over to Harris. Harris has a screen coming. He doesn't use it. Dribbles down to the baseline and gets that mid-range to go. Here comes Lathan. Stops his dribble, gets it to DeRoche. Bounce pass. Down in to Terrell, and Terrell leaves it underneath. Weak side again. And Trayvon Lathan gets his 5th point of the night.
Way too easy, and that's another point in the paint. We're up to what in the statistic now? 28 points in the painted area there, Mavs?
It's getting there.
Way too many points in the paint.
Floater good by Steve Sir.
Offensively, we're doing well. 30 points is pretty good.
It's not, but you know what,
Not
though,
great.
Vince? We'll get it at the halftime, but Lathan leaves it underneath and shot no good. Rebound there, but a foul, rebounding foul on Terrell. And that'll be Terrell's second. So in comes Cornelius Vines back into the game. And back the other way now as here comes Cooley. Cooley to Barber, and now Sir will catch and shoot off the rotation. One and done for the Rainmen as it's rebounded by Mahan. Down to Dailey. Dailey skip to Vines. Vines going to shoot 3 foul shots, and it's going to be a foul on Sir. As Steve Sir picks up his first personal. And, you know, we have to look if, you know, Cooley's got 1 foul. Sir's got 1 foul.
Right.
They're the only guards that the Rainmen have right now, so they have to be extremely careful. A miss on the second.
One left.
Good on the third, so 2 out of 3 for Vines. Is up comes Cooley, and Lathan is putting him in check. Sir now can't connect. Nice offensive rebound and a foul coming on Vines, and that'll be Vines' 3rd personal. And 2 shots coming for Halifax.
Yeah, Coach Truax has a decision to make right now, being up 16 points with 2 minutes left in this second quarter. Do we continue to go on with our point guard, Vines, who has 3 fouls? We sit him down and save him for the second half.
So, good on the first. There's Parham.
Just as we talked about, Vines picking up his 3rd foul. Looks like Alish DeRoche is coming back into the game and check out Vines.
So DeRoche coming in, and for the Rainmen, it'll be Kaylon Riley. 2 minutes left here in the second quarter.
Raymond got to buckle down defensively, Mavs, in the next 2 minutes. Need a few stops.
Sir got his hand to the passing lane, but able to get up to Mahan. Mahan, and that's going to be picked off by Cooley. And back the other way come the Rainmen with numbers. Riley can't handle it, though, and there goes the fast break opportunity. Nice pull up. Good there by Cooley.
That's a big jump shot in the half-court set there. We're able to take away the transition, and Cooley's able to finish.
There's a steal off the inbound and a missed opportunity for Halifax.
Just unlucky right there, but great anticipation and determination there by Javon Cooley.
And Cooley's trying another steal off the inbound. Nice full court press. They get it to DeRoche, who's able to get it over. He goes to the rim, and he will shoot 2. DeRoche sensing the opportunity, and he attacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Raymond tried to attack on the defensive end and force the issue, force over a turnover there. Miracle's doing better and attacking the defense of the Rain and trying to get in the transition. And DeRoche, the beneficiary of this nice distribution. And this, I like the distribution of the basketball by this Miracle team. Our first look at the Miracle team coming into Metro C this season, where we'll get 9 more opportunities to see these guys. But they've been moving the basketball quite well, either in transition or in the half-court sets.
Underneath, and it's batted around, and it's going to end up in the hands of Trayvon Lathan.
Right now, Juwan Cooley, that length of Trayvon length and the 6'9" length is giving Cooley some fits offensively.
And a blocking foul charged on the Rainmen, so count the basket. And a foul there on Raven Barber.
That's a tough call there by Barber. Barber able to step in the lane, try to pick up that charging call. Looked like he was just a little bit late. Might have got the right call there. Those are the things that need to be worked on in the second half, adjustments by this Rainmen team.
So 51-34, under a minute left here in the first half. Pass over to Barber, and here comes Sir. Sir, floater, good. Steve Sir. (51-36), and here comes Mahan to Lathan. Lathan leaves it in the corner for Terrell, who puts it on the court. Now back to Lathan. At the spot where we left it, a nice tough rebound there by Alex DeRoche over to the University of New Brunswick. Former varsity Red. Varsity Reds looking like they got a nice team this year in AUS basketball. As Lathan goes, and it's going to be knocked away by Raven Barber. Timeout call by Dennis Truax with 1.7 left in regulation, so we'll expect a quick hitter here from the Miracles as they'll draw something up. And I could sense if the Miracles are going to be looking for anything, they'll be looking for what's been open all day, and that has been the weak side down low. As Halifax has not been able to defend that. Right now, 24-8, the disparity in the points of the paint. The Miracles beating the Rainmen there. It's 51-36. You look at that, and that is where the edge has been in this game. Points in the paint, the Rainmen have not been able to control or defend the weak side down low. As Truax is drawing something up. There's the Halifax Rainmen Weather Girls, of course. Big part of the entertainment value here at the Metro Center. Make sure you get to TicketAtlantic.com or RainmenBasketball.com. Find out how you too can be part of the action here in Halifax. Our next game on the 17th. We enjoy having you on the web stream and watching here on NBLCanada.com, Sports Live 24, the Rainmen website. I don't know where else we are, but we're all over the place. But we'd love to have you here at the Metro Center. 1.7 as DeRoche will inbound. Raymond trying to secure around the net, and it's going to be passed out. Mahan, catch and shoot off the iron there. Johnny Mahan had a decent attempt at it.
Here with Coach Terrell. Coach, what adjustments you need to make in the second half?
You know, I think that we made a little bit of a run with a little bit more energy towards the end of the second quarter. But overall, we're just a little out of sync. You know, it's 1 second late. It's one guy forgetting an assignment. It's that one extra pass. We're close, but we're going to talk about it at halftime, clean it up a little bit, and then come back and put ourselves in a position to win this game in the second half.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
All right, thank you.
Miracles 51, Rainmen 36 at the break. It is Johnny Mahan with 14 points leading the Miracle scorers. Steve Sir with 10. He had 6 early, but then he kind of cooled off. And Vince, the Rainmen inability to defend the weak side of the basket down low is the story of this game for me right now.
Oh, absolutely. The points in the painted area. We talked about it. We're harping on it. The backside rotation of the defense is just not there. The ball movement, the effective ball movement in the distribution of the basketball by the Moncton Miracles is basically broken down
the defense one-on-one individually of the Halifax Rainmen, and this is why this is a big lead at halftime. The Moncton Miracles are basically out in front. Coach Dennis Truax probably doesn't have limited, adjustments in the second half. Just keep doing what we're doing. The Halifax Rainmen have to make all the adjustments, and it has to come on the defensive end.
Well, we'll be back in a couple of minutes as the Rainmen are down 51-36. Once again, you can get us on Twitter at Vincent217W and at Mavs Gillis. Be back.
Here with Coach Dennis Truax. Coach, you're up 51-36 at the half. What did you tell your players in halftime?
That was a great 24 minutes. We have another 24 minutes to go.
Okay, what adjustments? Any adjustments in the second half?
We just got to make sure we continue to run their shooters off the three and just continue getting the ball in the post and work inside out. When we do that, we've been pretty successful tonight.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks.
Rainmen down 51-36 here as we're about to start the second half. And you got a chance to chat with both coaches. What's your takeaway from those chats?
Well, basically, we talked about it, we've been talking about it for the first two quarters. The Rainmen got to do a better job adjusting on the defensive side of things. And the Moncton Miracles, not much adjustments. Dennis Truax is quite happy in the production of his offense. His offense basically talked about his offense moving the basketball, being unselfish, and creating some opportunities, easy opportunities on the offensive end. So basically, those are the things that, nothing needs to really happen on the side of the Moncton Miracles in the way of making an adjustment. They just got to continue to play the type of basketball that they're playing right now. But on the flip side, the Halifax Rainmen need major adjustments on the defensive side of things. They got to get down and rotate and make sure they create difficult offensive opportunities for this Moncton Miracle team. When they force the difficult opportunities, sometimes the Miracles beat them with a better shooting, but sometimes they get the job done and get the one and dones. But they need to consistently get those one and dones. And when it comes to runs, and we talked about it, and we always, watch for different runs. There are going to be runs. Teams are going to make runs in a basketball game. It's how you adjust and make sure that you adjust to those runs. Right now, Halifax really haven't gotten into a run. We haven't seen where they actually went out on a double-digit run, and they need to go on a double-digit run early in this third quarter if they're going to have any chance of beating this Miracle team, because the Miracles are shooting outstandingly. You look at the percentage here at the halftime, the Miracles from the field are shooting, let's see here, they're shooting almost 50%. That's pretty darn good. Three-point-wise, shot 50%, 5 for 10 from downtown. I mean, that's outstanding as well. Free throw line, no problem at all. 8 for 11, that's 72%. So when you have those type of offensive percentages, going up against you in the first 24 minutes and you're not matching it, you're going to have a deficit. Right now, the Rainmen have a deficit that they need to dig themselves out of. And it's not a deficit that they can't overcome because they have the offensive firepower in Juwan Cooley and Steve Sir. They just need to get it done on the defensive side, and we're going to continue to talk about it. It's professional basketball. If you don't defend, you don't win games. You don't defend, you don't win championships, and you definitely don't win playoff series.
So both teams going with the same starting lineups to start the second half. Once again, Mavs, Gillis, Vince Williams. Here from the Halifax Metro Center is passed off from Harris to Sir. Sir, step in, dribble. He's got nice touch from the elbow.
Very nice touch. Outstanding offensive player, and just what the doctor ordered coming out of that halftime break.
Take to the rim, and too easy. Down low.
Yeah, too easy. Cut and pass. Basically, DeRocher with a nice pass up the lane, and the effective backdoor cut was able to finish at the rim.
Underneath, count it, and the foul. It's going to be Tim Parham coming back the other way and getting close to the basket.
Well, you'd like to see that aggressiveness offensively early. Not settling for jump shots. Steve Sir hit a jumper in the painted area. And right there, Ivan Harris being patient and looking inside to Tim Parham. Parham, again, looking to finish a three-point play. Offensively, they've been pretty solid in their half-court sets. It's just a problem on that defensive end, not able to defend. They can clean that up, go on a little nice run here that can cut into this lead.
Parham had a chance, and it's going to be a Steve Sir call for the foul as he hooked DeRoche. But Parham, awkward-looking free throw shot, but off his thigh was the offensive board, an opportunity the Rainmen missed.
Yeah, Parham not able to corral that loose ball. Got to create loose balls. It's all about effort. Doesn't take talent to get loose balls and block out and get defensive rebounds. It takes effort and determination.
And there's a foul coming to Cooley, so both guards picking up a quick foul here in the second half.
Not a good thing is in the first half, both guards, Steve Sir and Juwan Cooley, both logging 24 minutes. Either player stepping off the court. And talked to Coach Terrell early in the shoot-around. He talked about these two guards. They're going to have to play from pillar to post. They're going to have to play this game through. They have to, manage their minutes. But managing their minutes means that they can't come off the court because there's nobody else in, the second unit that can replace them. There's no ball handlers. Raymond dressed 8, and out of the 8, 6 of them are bigs.
Well, there's one of the bigs, Tim Parham, battling around the net. Able to get his 4th point of the second half. Turnaround, fadeaway, good there by Stanley Robinson.
And Mr. Robinson, Dennis Truax likes to call Mr. Double-Double. We want to see if they can get him going in the second half.
Well, right now he's got 10. But he's got a lot of work to get himself a double-double as hook in the lane, Raven Barber.
Yeah. And this is what you like to see out of these half-court sets by the Rainmen. Able to get effective points in the painted area out of their two bigs in Parham and Raven Barber. Guys have pretty nice touch around the rim when they get the ball 2 or 3 feet away from the basket.
And Raven Barber able to corral that defensive rebound, make it a one-and-done as Sir picked up by DeRoche. Nice bounce pass around DeRoche. It's down low to Parham, and Parham can't get that to go. Beg your pardon, that was Barber, and away they go the Miracles. 32 and 42. Pass down low, and, 32 nor 42 was around that one.
And that's
uncontested at the rim.
That's another play where Tim Parham is trailing Dailey. Dailey is beating them from rim to rim, especially when the Rainmen are transitioning in the defensive role. Parham's got to do a better job of getting in front and stopping Dailey from getting to the front of the rim. We've seen this twice. Dailey's just running to the front of the rim, and Parham is not picking him up, and he's allowed to get in there with a nice, easy dunk.
And there is to the rim as Stanley Robinson makes it 12, and the Miracles up 60-46 with 9:16 left in the third. Screen set, and there's Juwan Cooley for 3.
Yep. Back and back. Skinny turned into a track meet offensively. That's in the great favor of the Moncton Miracles. But if you're the Halifax Rainmen, you don't want this track meet. You don't want to be trading baskets. You want to get stops and cut into this lead. They need multiple stops.
3 in transition for Sir, no good. Underneath is Harris for the rebound. Rainmen continue to have possession.
Great play in the lane there by Ivan Harris, extending this possession.
Barber testing his range, no good. Underneath, Parham can't tip it in. It's going to go off his foot. It's going to be Miracle basketball.
Great individual fight there. Parham just unable to corral it. Well, Parham's going to check out of the game probably because of the ineffectiveness, not so much on the offensive end, but on the defensive side of things, of not able to block out and basically control Dailey on the offensive boards and allow him to run out and get easy, dunks in the lanes. Just not acceptable at this level.
Pass over there and a drive underneath left for Alex DeRoche. That has been open all night long as Cornelius Vines has another assist to his stat column. He's got 5. Drive and a foul on Vines.
Great decision there by Juwan Cooley, not allowing Vines to relax on the defensive end, and that's his 4th personal. It's one thing we talked about in the pregame, controlling Juwan Cooley going to the basket and his ability to blow by his defender and create havoc in that painted area, either creating a shot for himself or creating wide open looks, drawing that double team as he beats his player.
Cooley, pull up for 3. No good. A tip back doesn't go for George Good, and back the other way come the Miracles. Terrell now is fouled, and it'll be on Barber.
Yeah, there's an absolute war going on being staged underneath the basket by those 2 big bodies, Terrell as well as Raven Barber. Each guy on the defensive end not giving up an inch, but that's what you like to see out of your bigs. You want to make sure that they're banging inside and giving that effort.
Bounce pass, and it's going to be short on the shot, and Robinson can't connect. There's Barber for the rebound. Now it's passed to Sir. Sir off a back screen by Barber. And they'll pass it over to Cooley. Down low to Good. Good. Goes to the net. Count it, the foul. George Good.
Nice. Very nice play by George Good. Being aggressive. Raymond being patient offensively, getting the ball inside and allowing their bigs to create offense and basically those 3-point plays. And George Good was able to break down Dailey off the dribble, force him to foul him. See, and this is big right now. The free throws. They got to create, as you can see in the replay, nice pump fake, blow by dribble there. Stagger step there, and Dailey got him on the hook. Great play, good finish there by George Good.
Misses on the free throw, and opportunity missed for the Rainmen. There's Terrell with the rebound, and back the other way comes Vines, and now DeRoche stops his dribble. He's forced to make a pass down low, and it's a foul coming here on Kaylon Riley. That's his 2nd.
Both teams, you like to see this though. Both teams are not settling for those jumpers. So those jumpers are there, they're making them, and they're taking them. But both teams in the half-court set are looking to get the ball inside to their bigs and allow their bigs to create that offense.
DeRoche off a curl, comes into the paint, leaves it underneath, and now over to the weak side, but it's picked off there by Harris. Here comes Halifax. It's Cooley. Goes, leaves it for Harris. Drive and kick, no good. Rebound, Cornelius Vines. Vines leaves it underneath, and there's the one-handed flush by Stanley Robinson.
All set up by the inability to hit wide-open jump shots. It looks like Ivan Harris is not setting his feet, kind of faded away. As you can see, he's a left-handed shot, kind of faded away from the basket, and his body's going away from the basket. That's a tough shot to make, especially in three-point range.
Steve Sir, mid-range, baseline.
Steve Sir's been doing that all season long. He's got very nice touch and great offensive patience. A very smart individual basketball player when it comes to being, creating his own shot off the bounce.
So a foul on Cooley. That's his third. Two shots coming here for Dailey. Dailey with 13 on the day. Make it 14. Good on both. So 6:03 left here in the third quarter. It's picked up here by Cooley and Sir. Passes over to Good. Good. Nice take down the lane, but can't hit the layup. Here come the Miracles. As it's left for Robinson, and now off a curl. Whew. Jamil Terrell stretching the floor, and that's gravy when he's got you off.
That's beyond gravy. I don't
15
know.
feet.
We're not even sure what type of gravy it is, but
Mushroom gravy.
if he's jumping if he's knocking jump shots 15 feet away when he's supposed to be dealing inside, then you know that your offense is firing on all cylinders, and that's going to be very tough for this Rainmen team to get back into this ball game.
Well, right now they're down 68-52 with 5:27 left in the third.
Yeah, not much difference has happened in that break.
No, and the Rainmen were coming close.
Right.
But you look at the spot where in transition they, I believe, missed an easy layup.
Yeah.
Came back the other way.
Yeah.
2-on-1. Dunked by Stanley Robinson.
Yeah, that's killer. That's absolutely killer when you're able to create offense, get that close to the goal, not able to finish, and then on the back end, not get back in defensive transition and give up, wide open dunks and layups and, guys' three-point plays. It's just going to be very difficult to get back into a ball game at any level. Raymond's just continuing to struggle here, and, there comes a point in every team when you decide to put your foot down and say, listen, enough is enough. We need to make some changes. We need to adjust to what's going on. We need to make the adjustments, meaning that basically the pressure's coming from key points in the game. Well, we can't get back on defense. We're giving up easy baskets. We're not challenging shooters. We're giving up easy opportunities inside the paint. Too many points inside the post area. Not good enough. Just got to do better things. Things have to change. But I will say that they're shorthanded. They're only playing with 8 guys. Out of the 8 guys that they're dressed with, they got 6 bigs. So you're going to have that liability where guys are not going to get up and down the court because maybe the 3, the 4, and the 5 on the other team is a little quicker than the 3 and the 4 and the 5 on your own team, and they're able to go from rim to rim and get those offensive opportunities in the transition because ineffectively your bigs are playing way too many minutes and not allowed to get that rest time. And on the flip side, your guards that have to play 48 minutes are not able to get back in transition as well because there's going to be spurts where they need to catch their breath, especially when they don't have, substitutions coming off the bench. So not having Brock Gillespie, not having, Jayon Gatson, and not having Tyler Richards is a big thing for this Rainmen team, and being able to have the second unit and give their best players, Steve Sir and Juwan Cooley, that amount of rest time.
Would you be surprised to see if the Rainmen bring in a guard this week?
I'm not sure if that's the right move. I mean, we talked about it in the pregame. You got Gatson, who's day-to-day with a neck injury. As soon as he comes back, and then we were a little unsure about Tyler Richards. Tyler Richards needs to go basically get more evaluation by the medical staff and see how long he's out. But if we can get Gatson back and make sure that, the acquisitions that they're waiting on Johnson as well as Lawrence. These 2 individuals, you've got a big man and a swing man. You bring these 2 individuals into the fold, then that helps in a big way as well. And then, once we get that and the chemistry starts flowing, then we can see a huge difference. But time is running out. We got a 40-game season. It's not like the association with 82 games. It's 40 games. So in those 40 games, the luxury of it this year is everybody makes the playoffs. In this division, everybody makes the playoffs, but you don't want to go in as the last seed. You don't want to be, going into the playoffs trying to fight for the championship on the road. You want to go in the playoffs as a number 1 or number 2 seed and have home court advantage. That is the whole thing about the regular season, getting yourself in position to be able to fight for the championship on home court. It's a much easier task winning championships basically on your home court. So once you get those individuals, we should be in good shape.
Counted, and the foul off some nice full court passing by the Moncton Miracles. And those individuals would be wanted right now.
They are much needed right now, Mavs. As you can see, the Rainmen are a little bit gassed out there, not effectively getting back in the defensive transition. We talked about the 48 minutes by the guards, Steve Sir and Juwan Cooley. Those play big. They play big. If you can't pick up the point guard or the 2 guard or even the 3, effectively full court, and you allow him to get to half court, he can make that long pass, and he did it there on that possession. As you can see, 2 passes and an easy bucket.
Here comes Cooley. Cooley with the handle, passes over to Sir. Sir for 3, no good. And back the other way come the Moncton Miracles. Terrell leaves it for Lathan, back to Terrell, over for 3, no good, and it's going to be last touch by the Miracles as it's Dailey over top of Cooley.
That's a great job there by Juwan Cooley, rotating on the back end, taking the bigger Dailey and boxing him out, shielding him away from the basketball, and forcing that, one and done. And that's a start. Let's make this a start to something good. Rainmen need to go on a little mini run here to close out the next 3 minutes of this third quarter. They're going to give themselves any chance of winning this down the stretch in the fourth. And this is what they've struggled with. Probably get into those numbers later, Maz, in the third and the fourth quarter. They basically have been outscored by double digits by their opponent this season.
In the fourth quarter, especially as back into the game comes Tim Parham and Raven Barber. Cycling in the bigs. But you look over and you see Steve Sir and Juwan Cooley trudging along here. It's not even the fourth.
I mean, they're in great shape. These 2 individuals to play these amount of minutes, you got to be in outstanding physical shape. And they're showing their mental. They're digging in. They're playing hard. And this should be basically, if you don't get the wins, you don't get the W's, but you should show some character to these guys, being able to effectively play 48 minutes from pillar to the post in a professional basketball game. That says a lot to the guys that are not playing. They got to get healthy quickly and get back into this and contribute. This should be something that should be translated over on a positive note when they get their opportunity, knowing that these guys have battled for 4 to 5 games or maybe even 6, playing 48 minutes a night.
Harris for 3, good. Nice ball movement there, in and out basketball.
And there's the shot that we talked about. His body going towards the basket, not fading away from that range. This 3-point shot is a very difficult shot to make, and it's going to be even more difficult if your body is basically going away from the basket. And on that opportunity, his body was going forward, and he was able to knock that down effectively.
Rebound underneath is Parham, and back the other way come the Rainmen. Cooley, screen coming. Over the other side, Sir's getting into the corner.
Looking for this isolation inside the post area. The Rayvon Barber masked up on Dailey.
Barber comes across in the lane, no good. Oh, Parham with the offensive board. Down at the foul, Tim Parham. And that is going to be on Jamil Terrell.
I'm going to be very, very candid right now. I would say Tim Parham is a very effective offensive player. Now, I'm not happy and totally satisfied with his, ability to defend and get back in transition. But he's very good inside the post. He's very strong, and he's tough to keep off the offensive boards. And tonight, he's been basically getting it done, battling inside with Terrell and Dailey. I like the combo of the bigs inside of number 42, Tim Parham, and number 32, Rayvon Barber. Those guys are a good match, a good fit inside. We talked about it. It's the war of attrition. Starting 5, the Rainmen can hang with everybody in the league. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it right now. Top to bottom, they can hang. Starting 5. It's just the second unit with the lack of bodies and not having the opportunity to go to that second unit is the problem and the reason why we're 0-4.
Well, you look, right now, bench scoring 22-9 in favor of the Miracles. So that would be right at that war of attrition. As it's swung around here, Mahan in the game as it's off the rack and rack misses. Cornelius Vines can't connect, and underneath is Ivan Harris. Back the other way comes Cooley, leaves underneath. Big dunk there by Raven Barber.
Well, there you go. Defense creates offense. Great play there by Ivan Harris, blocking out. Good outlet pass to Cooley, and Cooley distributing the basketball. Nice no-look pass inside the Barber, and Barber can finish with anybody in this league 2-3 feet away from the rim.
Foul coming, and that's going to be on Cooley. Rainmen cut the lead to single digits, 71-63 with 1:24 left, but
that ultimately has to be the goal, right, Mavs? Ultimately has to be the goal going in the fourth quarter. If they can get it to single digits, it'd be great.
But the issue now is Juwan Cooley picking up his fourth personal,
right,
with 1:24 left in the third. And you know what? He's a very active defender and reaches, and he is going to gamble and trying to get some steals.
Yeah.
So to have him play 48 minutes and not be in foul trouble,
right,
is next to impossible.
Oh, absolutely, and that's part of the game management. Coach Terrell's going to have to try to figure out a situation going into this fourth quarter, how he can keep his two effective offensive players in the way of creating and putting points on the board in Juwan Cooley and Steve Sir. Juwan Cooley needs to be around to give them any chance of pulling this one out.
Sir on the miss. It's the Miracles coming back the other way with just over one left here in the third. There's Latham. Use it for Vines. And Vines into Latham, no good. Defensive rebound there by Parham.
Yeah, back-to-back possessions, back-to-back one-and-dones. Now they need to come down here with a nice offensive set and capitalize.
Trying to back his way in, up and count it, the foul! Raven Barber.
Giving up way too much length, giving up way too much physicality inside the post. Raven Barber should be able to wear out the bigs of the Moncton Miracles. If Terrell's not in the painted area and match that physicality, Raven Barber should have his way with Dailey. And that's not DeRoche, is it? Not number 14.
DeRoche is number 14, yes.
Yeah, that's number 10.
Number 10 is Anto Rack.
Yeah, we haven't said his name a whole lot tonight.
Out of Welland, Ontario. The Welland, Ontario connection to Atlantic Canada basketball. And Capers head coach, Matt Skinn.
Yeah, there you go. And I didn't want to say the name because I knew you were better in pronouncing it because you were practicing.
Well, I'll tell you this. My first year doing PA announcing at the Cape, was back the other way, come the Miracles, and Vines put it up on Vines, 6 seconds or less, is able to get that basket to go. Here comes Sir for three, buzzer, no good. The Miracles up 75-65. My first season with the Capers,
right.
It wasn't Welland, Ontario. It was Wheeland, Ontario, the first two games until Matt Skinn came over and said,
right.
Mavs, come on now.
Yeah.
That was many years ago.
Little letdown in that off defensive transition there, allowing the Miracles to basically push this lead back up to double digits with that easy layup. But I'm happy. I'm happy in the last 3:50. We talked about Raymond getting stops and able to cut into that big deficit. They're able to get it to just 10 points. And 10 points is a whole lot better than going, starting the fourth quarter 16 points down. So a few more possessions here and there defensively, a few more one-and-dones, and able to create offense on the offensive side of things and get maybe some and-ones, three-point plays, or even two. We'll take two, but it's all about runs. And right now the Rainmen are on just a little mini run, but they need to extend it into the next 5 minutes in this fourth quarter. Very pivotal. Talk about the fourth there, Mavs.
Well, the fourth, you look at the fourth quarter for the Halifax Rainmen in their season box score, and it has not been pretty. This fourth quarter for the season box, the Rainmen are getting outscored, I believe, 118-87.
Right.
And when we talked with Coach Terrell before the game, he said, our guards, we're in it with every game, every team until the fourth quarter when our guards just can't compete anymore and they just run out of gas.
Exactly, and we talked about it, and we're looking at the numbers here. As you can see, effectively,
by quarter in the season, the Rainmen basically have outscored their opponents 98-94. In the second quarter, it drops off a little bit, 98-105. In the third quarter and fourth quarter, basically money quarters in professional basketball, they're lacking. 110-86 in the third, and in the fourth, it doesn't get any better at 87 points to 118. So basically, it's going to have to change. Something has to change in this fourth quarter for them to pull this one out, but it's within reach. 10 points is very reachable in professional basketball. 10 points, you can lose a 10-point lead in a blink of an eye. We've seen it several nights here at the Metro C.
Tim Parham on the day is 15 points, 14 rebounds. He's got his double-double. And the Rainmen beating the Miracles on the offensive side of the glass, 12-7.
Right. That war of the points in the paint. Got to slash into it in this fourth quarter. Guys got to dig down. Rainmen continue to go with their starting five.
Cooley over to Harris, no good, and rebound by Parham.
Parham again, another outstanding rebound there on the miss and extending this possession.
Spin in the paint, Barber, no good. Loose ball, and it's going to be the Miracles going the other way as Stanley Robinson is able to come away with us. Here comes Latham.
It looks like the adjustment in the fourth quarter, the Rainmen are trying a 2-3 zone. Two things are going to happen with the 2-3 zone, especially playing a hot team. One, you're going to force the ball to be shot from the outside by your opponent. That's a good thing if they miss. Two, not a good thing if they get wide open looks and they start knocking down shots and extending the lead even further. So the major adjustment is going to come by the Miracles. What is the Miracles going to do? Are they going to settle for jump shots, move the ball in rotation, get in the drive lanes, break down this Rainmen defense, and get shots in the painted area, continue that trend that's been going for 3 quarters, or are they going to settle for jump shots, miss them, and allow this Rainmen team to get back into this game? So it's going to be interesting to see in the next few possessions by both coaches and see what type of adjustments that they make.
Backing down is Barber, and Barber, no shot. It's a foul on the floor. The fans here in Halifax
looking for that association call, the continuation. But I tell you what, we're talking about it. Rayvon Barber is a problem. At 6'9", he is very patient offensively. He doesn't rush himself. He takes a few dribbles, gets himself in good position 2-3 feet away from the basket, and he forces the defender to either foul him or give up that easy bucket, either in a sky hook or an easy layup.
As Cooley passes over to Harris for 3. Good, Ivan Harris.
He's got to get hot. He's the X factor in this offense. He needs to knock down those jump shots. If the Miracles are going to allow Ivan Harris to take jumpers, he needs to knock them down. We need the microwave to show up and knock the toaster oven.
He's 4 of 11 from the floor tonight. Only his second 3. Screen coming. Shot no good. Oh, but it's chased down by Antorak.
And that's what you give up when you're in a 2-3 zone. That long rebound, and when there's a long miss, you give up that 50-50. Guys are not in position to get after that loose ball.
From the free throw line, no good. It's going to be last touch by the Miracles. Rainmen will have possession. 9:36 left here in the fourth quarter.
Good battle there by Rayvon Barber. Able to get in front of his offensive player and force that knock out of bounds there by the Miracles. Now another opportunity to cut into this lead. Rainmen are probably going to try to look inside to Tim Parham or Rayvon Barber, which has been working in this second half. But I will say I'm quite happy to see that this season the Rainmen have 2 effective bigs that can finish around the rim and that are very patient. If they can't create their own shot with the bounce, they can actually pass the ball to the open shooter.
Well, I never thought I'd be saying this doing a Rainmen telecast,
right.
but Right now, the Rainmen have too many bigs and not enough guards.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that would be coming out of our mouth?
Yeah, that's been an Achilles heel the last few seasons, not having enough bigs.
We need a big guy. We need a big guy. We need a big guy. All right, here's 8. As shot by Steve Sir.
That's what I talked about right there. Nice distribution of the basketball. Great patience by Tim Parham. He's able to draw the double team and find the open shooter in Steve Sir. And that's one guy that you do not want to get hot down the stretch.
But underneath the basket is Stanley Robinson, 2 and the foul.
Yeah. This Miracle team not settling for the jump shot on this possession as they did on the last. Able to move the basketball without the bounce, move the defense, have those wide open passing lanes, and get the ball down in the painted area where they've been very effective all afternoon.
Back to a 10-point game. Up the court comes Halifax. It's Cooley. Sir trying to fight through 2 screens. Lathan is not letting Cooley breathe. It's down to Barber. Barber. Hook no good. Lathan the rebound. And Lathan is bringing the ball up the court. Bounce pass. And swung over. Shot. And there is Johnny Mahan bringing the mayhem. Miracles up 84-71. A timeout called by Halifax.
Yeah, that's probably the last guy you want to leave open is Johnny Mayhem. Johnny Mayhem is 5 for 8 from 3-point range. The last guy on the Moncton Miracles roster to leave wide open this afternoon. Can't leave that guy home. That's 17 points off the bench in about 22 minutes. That's pretty good minutes for a 6-man. Like you said, he's definitely the front runner. We're being a little biased, only seeing, the Miracles come into the Metro C as well as, St. John Millrats.
St. John and the Island Storm.
Yeah, true. But we're a little biased on this side of things, but he looks very good.
Right now, 17 points, as you said, in limited playing time.
Yeah, 22 minutes of playing time. That's pretty darn good from your second unit, particularly from one individual. But, the Rainmen not closing out on Mahan in time, and he's able to knock down that shot and forcing Coach Terrell into a timeout with 8:31 left. Rainmen down 13 points. Still obtainable to get back into this game. Like I said, they've been playing it pretty good in the last 4 possessions, forcing the long shots. They got a couple one-and-dones, little lax there on one possession where the Miracles were better than the defense. Made sure they rotated the ball without the bounce with the pass and get the ball inside and create a 3-point opportunity. But if they can just close out on the shooters, their best shooters, the Miracles' best shooters, and get after those loose balls and get down the court quickly and not settle for jump shots unless it's Ivan Harris who's got a wide open look or Steve Sir with a wide open look, all created by the bounce and the good ball movement by Juwan Cooley. But look to go inside. Look to feed the ball inside to the 2 individuals, number 42 and number 32. That is Tim Parham and Rayvon Barber. Look to those guys. Those guys have been getting it done. It's been some easy money inside that painted area, which we're not accustomed to see out of the Rainmen organization.
Here comes Cooley now as Cooley up the court, and Lathan has just been all over him tonight.
Yeah, that's been a great adjustment there by Coach Dennis Truax of the Moncton Miracles of putting on.
But he beat him
that time. He beat him that time, and that's the thing, right? If you got a 6'9" point guard that can guard a 5'11" point guard that's going to have to play 48 minutes, it starts to wear on the smaller player. But Juwan Cooley digging in and getting it done, showing his resilience and going after that basket on the offensive end, staying very aggressive.
Bounce pass down low. Hook no good, and it's going to be a defensive rebound there by Parham. No, Barber. Kicked over. Pull-up jumper, good. Steve Sir, 3 from the sideline.
Very nice distribution of the basketball. Steve Sir catch and shoot. Didn't wait for the defender to close out. Great heads-up play, back-to-back possessions here by Juwan Cooley, distributing the basketball, one getting his own shot, and the other distributing to wide-open Sir.
Steve Sir, the rebound, and it's one and done. Back comes Halifax now. It's Cooley.
Things are starting to get a little interesting now. The screws are starting to tighten a little bit for this Moncton Miracle team, who's basically from pillar to almost the post have a very comfortable lead.
Ivan Harris for three. Timeout call by the Moncton Miracles.
Okay.
It's a 5-point basketball game in the span of 5 minutes.
There you go. I told you the X factor right there. Two individuals. Steve Sir, wide open look, jump shot. Ivan Harris, wide open look, jump shot. Two individuals that need to make jumpers in the stretch here. Juwan Cooley's going to dig in the last 6-7 minutes here. Sorry, 6:58 left in this fourth quarter. He's going to create the offense. These guys need to knock down the jumpers.
Now, the only thing that you have to watch for, though, is Cooley with 5 fouls.
Yeah, he's got to play on the right now. He's playing on the edge. He's got to know that he's more valuable on offense than he is on defense. If the steal is there, a clear-cut steal is there, and his opportunity is there, not fouling, then take it. But if it's not, you cannot gamble, cannot afford to lose Juwan Cooley. I have to say it, if they lose Juwan Cooley, you're pretty much going to lose this game. Because you got your number one weapon, offensive weapon, that can score and distribute the basketball and allow your better shooters to get wide open looks. This is going to be very pivotal in the next 7 minutes.
I mean, taking a look down the roster of the guys active right now, let's say Cooley is fouled out.
Steve Sir.
Steve Sir, but who would you put in at that 2 spot?
Well, you probably go with George Good. You roll with George Good in that spot, bring him in, then move Ivan Harris up to number 2. Steve Sir go number 1, and then you got Rayvon Barber and Tim Parham still sticking in the 4 and the 5. But you're going to be very much underhanded if you do lose Juwan Cooley in this fourth quarter. So Juwan Cooley basically has got to play good, fundamental heads-up defense and not get forced into a 6th foul. But on the other side, does Moncton go to forcing Juwan Cooley to pick up a 6 and isolate him with the bigger guard, Trayvon Lathan?
As Lathan leaves it underneath for Dailey, and in and out, rebound there, Parham.
And there you go. The chess match continues to happen here by both coaches, Dennis Truax and Coach Chris Terrell, on what type of adjustments they're going to make defensively and offensively.
Nice screen and roll as Parham goes to the rim. Can't hit that, but
yeah,
it's going to be a foul under the basket. And
still got to be happy with his effort after he missed it, but great play there by Steve Sir, distributing the basketball off of that pick and roll.
Foul there on DeRoche.
This is always the great time of basketball in the last 7-8 minutes in a close ball game, because you get that chess match going on. You get that game management chess match, and each coach is trying to make sure that they make the proper adjustments on every possession. Every possession right now has to be treated like gold, offensively and defensively. Both teams cannot afford to get turnovers and not capitalize on the offensive end.
Harris the miss, but underneath is Parham on the rebound, last touched by the Miracles.
Tim Parham is digging in this second half, being given major headaches to Terrell in the post area, as well as number 24, Stanley Robinson. Those guys are going to have to come up big, as well as number 5, Jermaine Dailey. Trying to keep those two individuals off the glass offensively and not allowing this Rainmen team to extend possessions are going to be very pivotal in trying to sustain and keep the Rainmen at arm's length and not allow them to get back into this game.
Here comes Harris. Thought about it. 7 on the shot clock. Passes over to Barber. Now Cooley. Off a nice screen. Cuts to the basket. Has a block, but it's going to be controlled by Barber. And now Harris and the Rainmen have a new shot clock. For 3, Juwan Cooley as he gets a high 5 down the sideline.
Absolutely.
For Chris Terrell.
Outstanding effort, like we talked about. The two bigs, Rayvon Barber and Tim Parham, getting second chance opportunities, extending the offensive possession, but not a good job on the defensive end. They're making it tough for this Miracle team.
Back the other side, Dailey goes off the glass and in. Makes it a 4-point game with 5:13 left. Cooley now with space. Passes over to Barber. Harris.
He's got to move the basketball. Either make a
3
decision
on
to
the
throw it
shot
inside
clock.
or move it.
Puts it up for 2, no good, and it's going to be rebounded underneath by Robinson.
Not a good possession there in that half-court set. Ivan Harris had the ball way too long. He should have extended, should have actually got the ball into Juwan Cooley's hand or even skip past it over to Steve Sir.
Counted and the foul, Jermaine Dailey. And 3 possessions has silenced the Metro Center.
Yeah, just as they got themselves right in the striking distance at a 5-point deficit. 3 major adjustments on the offensive end and not settling for jumpers by this Moncton Miracle team. Getting the ball inside with great ball movement and guys staying patient and moving without the basketball. That's very important when you move without the basketball and create space coming off picks on the backside. That's going to open up opportunities on the offensive end. And they had 3 straight possessions this Miracle team had where guys were moving without the basketball, getting screens on the backside, rolling off of those screens, and great distribution inside to these individuals are allowing these guys to create and finish at the goal.
Well, right now, Rainmen trailing by 6. It was promising there. Now, watch out for Juwan Cooley.
Well, all's not lost. I mean, we still got 4:43 left. We still have, the right the right type of, matchups that we want on the court in the Rainmen side of things. You still have your leader, Juwan Cooley. You still have Steve Sir out there digging in and continuing to make plays. It's just going to come down to which team really wants it defensively. Which team's going to basically close out, make it tough for the opposition, limit them to the one and dones, get up and down the court in the offensive transition, and if they can't get those transition buckets, make sure that they take care of the basketball in their offensive sets in the half court. The ball has to move. The ball has to move. When they move the ball, look inside and play that inside-out game and allow Parham and Barber to create down low, good things happen. When they don't do that and they go to this isolation one-on-one, things get a little stagnant, and then and then the defense, basically wins and breaks down the offense, and they're forcing up a shot at the end of the shot clock. That's not the type of offense that they've been playing thus far up to now, and 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Problem is not going to be the offense. The problem has to be the defense, and they have to clean that defensive up. Their offense, if they move the ball and distribute the basketball and play unselfish basketball, they'll be okay in that regard.
Here comes Cooley now as Cooley. They're giving him the right side, but cut off is Sir. Floater, good, Steve Sir.
That's just too good by Steve Sir. The Miracles closing out and trying to avoid Steve Sir from jumping a 3, but Steve Sir can get it done off the bounce. He showed it in the 3 games here at the Metro C. He can create his offense using the bounce, and that's a very nice finish in the lane.
Pass down and across comes Dailey. Left underneath for Terrell. Terrell, no good. Loose ball, it's going to be a defensive rebound for Raven Barber. And here comes Cooley with 3:50 left. Parham calling for the lob, and a big block underneath there by Stanley Robinson.
Yeah, outstanding rotation defense by Stanley Robinson. Nice pass inside there by Steve Sir, the Parham. Parham probably would have been better to pump fake, get Robinson in the air and create the contact and the foul and the goal.
Harris deflects that with a hand in the lane. That's going to be left underneath Harris. Well, he's got his progress cut off, but he steps out of bounds.
Just unlucky on a 2-on-1 opportunity there by Cooley and Harris. Cannot allow these opportunities to slip away with times against you. You got to be able to finish on the offensive end. It's time to dig in once again defensively. Rainmen need a stop.
Underneath is Vines, and Vines was able to back Cooley all the way down, and
a lot of contact there in the painted area on Cooley. I think the officials know that Cooley's skating on thin ice with 5 personal fouls.
And Johnny Mahan coming up and playing the body hard.
Yeah. And Coach Truax's not happy with the officiating right now. As you can see, the adjustment's been made by Coach Truax is trying to get the ball inside on a one-on-one isolation on Juwan Cooley and try to get him out of this game.
Cooley for three. Brings it to a one-possession game with 2:50 left.
There you go, the general stepping up. That's probably not the strength of Juwan Cooley. He's knocking down jumpers. His ability to get inside the painted area and distribute the basketball is his strength, but he's been able this afternoon to knock down some big jumpers and keep this Rainmen team close.
Terrell, no good. Gets his own rebound. Passes it back to Vines, and
the screaming on a reset on a shot clock there. The shot clock should not have reset. The ball did not hit the rim. Rainmen might have a case here, but nevertheless, they've got to play through it.
Foul coming.
That's a ticky-tack foul right there. I hate to call officials out, but with the game on the line and the win and loss in the balance, they got to allow these players to play this one through and let the players make the decision. Little ticky-tack foul, 18 feet away from the rim on Rayvon Barber. But the inability by the officials on that last possession of not stopping the play because of the reset of the shot clock. Most of the game they've been doing a good job of keeping an eye on the shot clock. I think in this possession they let down, especially the Rainmen faithful, and the Rainmen faithful are starting to give it to the officials, as you can hear it.
That is the sixth personal for Barber, and in comes good.
Yeah, that is not a way to finish up a game. Rayvon Barber having an outstanding game. 18 feet away from the rim. You got to allow these guys to play it out. This is professional ranks. You got to allow these guys to battle it out and decide the outcome.
Lathan on the miss, and Sir the rebound. So back comes Cooley.
George Good is stepping into a big role right now. He's got to be able to contribute on a positive sense, either score when he gets his opportunity or get rebounds on the offensive end to extend possessions.
Under two, Cooley goes to the rim, doesn't get to go, but it'll be Rainmen basketball. No reset on the shot clock. I beg your pardon, it is a reset on the shot clock.
Yeah, it hit the rim, but geez, it looked like Tim Parham got pushed underneath the basket there. And Coach Truax is upset. He's come way on into the court here, trying to get the attention by the officials as John Hunt comes over to address Coach Truax's.
And there is no reset. It's going to be 5 on the shot clock.
Okay, it looked like it hit the rim there, though, Mavs.
Let's see if there's a replay coming up on the...
See if we can get a replay from the truck.
It is 5 on the shot clock, so there was no reset. 1:45 left. It's Cooley to inbound. Lathan leaves it to Parham. Cooley short of the shot. Rebound underneath Terrell.
Man, that would have been a huge shot if he would have got that to goal. But he looked like he just a little short. He should have went to the basket and followed his shot. He probably would have got that offensive rebound as nobody blocked him out. But they got to dig in right now, Mavs.
1:30 left. Across the lane. Good is Jermaine Dailey.
That's a huge shot in the lanes. Running skyhook by Dailey. Putting the pressure right back on this Rainmen team in this possession. They need a bucket.
25th point of the day for Dailey as it's kicked over to Harris. For 3, yes! And Harris makes it a 1-point game with 1:07 left.
All I can say is X Factor. Right now, this is the biggest defensive possession thus far here at the Metro C for this Rainmen team. They need to dig in and get it done.
10 on the shot clock. Sir beat to the rim. No good. Loose basketball. It's going to be Rainmen ball. It's up to Sir if he can reach it. Sir goes up. He's fouled, and Steve Sir will shoot 2. Good foul by Trayvon Lathan.
Just the right guy to get on the foul line. Steve Sir shooting about 95% from the free-throw line thus far, but he is tired. He has played part of the post. He's going to play 48 minutes. Thus far, he's played 47 minutes and 15 seconds. So he's going to, these are 2 big free throws right now. The screws are starting to tighten on both teams. Which team is going to come up big?
His first trip to the line ties the game at 91.
Sir needs to make this second one and put all the pressure back on the Moncton Miracles.
His second at the line puts the Rainmen up for the first time since the first quarter.
Mr. Clutch, and the Metro C is standing up. The roof is starting to come off this building, even though we got a limited crowd, but they're all here.
Lathan turns the ball over. It is last touch by Cooley. 14 on the shot clock.
Kind of
Miracle
surprised
basketball.
that Coach Dennis Truax didn't call a timeout in this possession here with 34.4. He's got
14
pros.
on the shot clock into Lathan. Lathan goes up. Blocked there. And it's going to be a foul coming by George Good.
Oh my goodness, George Good with outstanding rotation. Blocked that effort there by Trayvon Lathan. Lathan in disagreement with that block shot, but the lack of rotation and the lack of blocking out bodies.
Miss on the first.
Things are
Stanley Robinson, so this would be the tie.
Looked like he's a little
Timeout
tight.
called by Chris Terrell if the shot is made.
Robinson,
31.5 left.
he's very upset at himself right now. Cursing underneath his breath at the line. These are big free throws right now.
Good, so we have a tie game, and it will be a 7.5 second differential between the shot clock and the game clock with a tie game.
Outstanding ball game. Great fight.
Is this a spot where you expect the Rainmen to try a quick hitter or hold and then try to have your defense?
No, this is definitely a spot for two individuals that have been getting it done thus far this season. Juwan Cooley has to make sure that he takes care of the basketball. You give Juwan Cooley a little bit of an isolation, maybe a pick and roll with either George Good or Tim Parham, making sure it's on the same side as Steve Sir. Once Juwan Cooley beats his individual with the blow-by dribble, he needs to make the decision to either take it all the way to the rim and create a shot for himself, or to kick it out to the wide-open shooter in Steve Sir. But on the other flip side, do the Moncton Miracles double the ball, or they allow, Juwan Cooley to create his own shot and force Juwan Cooley to beat them? Either way, the decision has to be made in the offensive end by two individuals, Juwan Cooley and Steve Sir. Those guys have to be beneficiaries of the shot in this possession. But first thing, Juwan Cooley needs to take care of the basketball and not turn it over.
Well, it's turned into an impromptu breakdance competition here at the Metro Center.
That's what you get. That's what you get here at the Metro C. It looks like there's some money that was
dropped out of the
pockets
and the refs are pocketing it.
But look who was pointed out by.
He's not going to pocket it.
But did you see who pointed out the change on the floor?
Who?
Probably the Rainmen's number one fan and beneficiary, the P sponsor, Lee Bragg. Lee Bragg, the owner of Eastlink TV. Almost said television. Lee Bragg pointed out by his courtside seats.
As we're ready to go. Passed in. As they're going to... Cooley. So Rainmen have a screen coming from Good. Good. Over. Shot. For the lead. No good. And it's rebounded. Turned over. Good. Floater. No good. Put back. No good. Harris puts it up. Rushes the shot. Not the type of offense you want late. We will go to overtime.
Oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me. 6 straight opportunities on that one possession with 34.4. Just couldn't get it to go.
Ivan Harris rushed that last shot.
Yeah, he didn't take a look at the shot clock. He didn't get any help either from his teammates and give him that awareness. At this opportunity, it would have been huge if they had the services of Rayvon Barber inside that painted area battling for that rebound. But nevertheless, it's a great fight in the fourth quarter, and we talked about the fourth quarter and the Rainmen making a difference, digging in and fighting in the fourth quarter and not relenting, not giving up, and staying close with this Miracle team and giving themselves a chance to pull this one out. So I'm happy about the effort by this Rainmen team. But now the job has to get finished in the overtime. They got to finish the job in the overtime on their home court. We talked about one of the keys Coach Terrell talked about in the pregame. He talked about winning the fourth quarter. In that fourth quarter, they won, but now they need to make sure that transforms over the overtime. They got to win the overtime.
Halifax winning both quarters in the second half and holding the Miracles to only 14 points that fourth quarter. So a great defensive effort there. Steve Sir, 10 of 19 shooting for 26 points and 19 rebounds for Tim Parham.
Yeah, Tim Parham has been a beast on the boards this afternoon with 36.9 minutes he has played, logged in. Huge big minutes by Parham.
The only problem is Cooley has spent 48 minutes of the game with his 5 fouls. Can he get through 5 more minutes without a foul?
He has to. It's going to be the deciding factor. It's going to be the deciding factor. They pretty much, if Cooley gets fouled out of this game, they need a miracle in a sense to win this game. They need an absolute miracle. Without Cooley on the court distributing the basketball, it's going to be a problem.
So 92-92, the Rainmen with Sir and Cooley. And Harris, along with Parham and Good. There's 12 on the clock. Now it's down to 5. So 5-minute overtime.
Yeah, the Miracle's got to be real, and Truax has definitely got to be real on the inside. You know, going into the halftime, they're up 15 points. Going into the fourth, they're up 10.
Cooley a lob into Harris. Harris can't finish the dunk. Parham can't get that one to go.
Too tight.
Although that was Parham's 20th rebound of the day.
Too tight on that possession there. George Good not able to make good on that nice lob pass by Cooley.
Lathan open for a long 2.
And that's what a veteran does. A guy that's been in this situation, being very calm, putting it all on his shoulders, putting the Miracles on his back and knocking down that jumper.
Drive, and it's going to be counted. And the foul as Juwan Cooley chance to put the Rainmen up 1.
This guy is lights out. He is dynamite in a bottle. At 5'11", this guy is getting it done. He is lightning. He made a quick move on Trayvon Lathan. Lathan was looking for the screen there on the pick and roll. Looked to his right, and it was way too late. Can't look to your right when you're guarding him one-on-one. Not Juwan Cooley. Cooley was able to see that he looked and blew right by him and drew the foul in the lane, and his opportunity to stretch this into a 3-point play.
Terrell has just picked up his 6th foul, so he is done for the day.
And that's huge. Terrell's been battling all night long inside the painted area with Tim Parham and Rayvon Barber before he checked out of it. So they need big minutes here out of Dailey and big minutes out of Robinson. But that brings back in DeRoche.
Lathan tries to feed across, turns the basketball over as Stanley Robinson unable to make the catch.
Just a little too strong. As you can see, the Moncton Miracles, every possession down, are looking to try to get Juwan Cooley out of this ball game as they are going one-on-one isolation between him and Juwan Cooley, and Trayvon Lathan. Interesting matchups right now in this overtime.
Cooley for 3, no good, and it's going to be rebound underneath by Mahan. 3:48 left. Pass down low to Lathan. Lathan. That'll be off the foot of Good.
Gonna reset the shot clock to 14. But Raymond got to hold strong here. They need a very important stop. If it's going to be a shot that the Miracles are going to hit, it's going to have to be a closeout shot. Make sure that it's going to be a tough opportunity, not give them an easy look.
There's a block by Parham. Back the other way off the miss was Stanley Robinson, and a rebound by Good.
Bounce it.
That's up to Sir, and Sir will get it over the timeline. Swing it around. 10 on the shot clock.
Coach Terrell's pointing to
a block there. Cooley has nowhere to go, and back the other way comes Mahan. He will not get that to go, but he will shoot 2.
Wow, looked like the same call on the other end with the same type of contact.
And Coach Terrell is echoing my sentiments as Juwan Cooley was able to draw a little bit of contact, the same type of contact on the other end as Mayhem were able to do. Miracle's the beneficiary of the call on the other end.
So the game tied now at 95. But it'll stay there for now. 3 minutes left in overtime as up comes Cooley. Harris to Sir. Sir puts it on the court. Tries to feed Good down low, but it'll stay Rainmen basketball with Sir, 9 on the shot clock.
Sir looked like he got pushed off the block there, off his dribble there by Mayhem. So the officiating, keeping it consistent, allowing these guys to dictate the outcome of this game is going to be very important.
Sir from Cooley. Good. Steve Sir puts the Rainmen up 2.
Steve Sir's been doing it all season long. Nice pump fake hesitation. Low by dribble and pull up jumper. Mid-range game is bang on for Steve Sir.
Down to Dailey. Dailey to DeRoche. DeRoche. Shot no good. No. George Good climbs the ladder, but turns the basketball over.
Just unlucky there.
Thought he was going to get Cooley running.
Yeah.
Rainmen now have to settle in with the Miracles, a fresh 24 in the half court.
But I am happy about George Shirks inserting into this lineup when Rayvon Barber went out with foul troubles. George Good doing a good job defensively, getting defensive rebounds.
And he went in for the reach there. Underneath is Lathan. Count it in the foul. Trayvon Lathan.
Good teams always find a way to get it done, especially when you make mistakes. They know how to exploit your mistakes and basically capitalize. And on that possession, the errant pass by George Good is basically coming back to haunt them. You gotta hope that Trayvon Lathan misses this free throw.
There's the miss. Offensive rebound by the Miracles. Passed over to DeRoche. Is DeRoche. Spin move. Gets it to go. The former varsity Red makes good on the Metro Center court.
Huge possession, a 4-point swing, all attributed by an errant pass on a defensive rebound.
Sir for 3. Rattles that one in. It's going to be counted as a long 2.
Steve Sir bailing him out thus far. 4 points in the overtime. 4 big buckets by Steve Sir, but they need to dig in once again defensively.
Lathan untouched except on the shot. He's fouled and will shoot 1 after completing a nice drive to the basket coming over the top of the key and down the weak side lane.
Way too easy there on that defensive possession. Nice screen on the ball by Robinson. Trayvon Lathan with the blow-by dribble. Getting it done.
On the free throw. Up to a 3-point game.
Lathan having an outstanding overtime period.
Sir finds Good. George Good with the one-handed flush. It's 102-101. Raymond down 1, and now they have to hold with 109 left in the overtime period.
Coach Terrell is encouraging the Metro C faithful to get up and be heard from.
DeRoche looked like he got away with a travel as Lathan misses on the 3. And here comes Cooley. Cooley to Sir. Sir, pull up for a long 2, no good. Loose ball, it'll stay. Rainmen basketball with a fresh shot clock of 24. 39.4 left in overtime. Both coaches have a timeout.
Yeah, both, like I said, we're talking about that chess match. Which team's going to make the adjustments? And right now,
timeout call by Coach Terrell.
Coach Terrell looking to talk to his troops, maybe set up a possession to get his 2 best offensive threats this afternoon. Juwan Cooley and Steve Sir, a nice look at the goal. Game is definitely in the balance here. They need
to execute offensively. But do they use all the 24-second, or do they try to score early? I say they try to score early, in the possession.
You're down once. You have to go early.
You got to go early regardless, but in some cases you can use the 24 seconds in hopes to get a stop on the back end and put all the pressure on your opponent once you actually execute within that 24-second time period. But I would go quickly. I'd go quickly, try to score quick, and then put all the pressure back on the Moncton Miracles to come down and match that offense.
Steve Sir with 30 points, leading all scorers here. 12 of 22 shooting. 52 minutes, 20 seconds logged.
That is just crazy ridiculous. Him and Juwan Cooley, the same amount of minutes logged. Cooley with 15 points, 9 big assists. He only turned the ball over 3 times. That is outstanding. But look at the minutes. Look at the minutes and the points by Ivan Harris. We talked about him as being an X factor. Logging 44 big minutes, 16 points. Out of those 16, he hit 3 threes in the fourth quarter to bring this team within striking distance. And now we're here. But the mission is not complete. The Rainmen need to dig in the next 39 seconds. And I keep using that adjective, dig in. They got to dig in, and essentially offensively and defensively. I know you're about to sting me about it, but this is huge. This is huge for this organization and getting their first W.
Cooley calling for a screen now. Harris rolls to the rim. No back over here, as it was last touched by the Miracles. Sir trying to force his way in. 12 on the shot clock. Passes to Cooley. Good defense here by the Miracles, not letting Halifax penetrate. And now Cooley's got to go. Floats it up. Front iron, no good. Last touch by Halifax. It'll be Miracle basketball with 15 left in the first overtime period, and they're up 1.
Oh, wow. That teardrop in the lane just wouldn't go for Cooley, and it's been going for him all season long. You can just see the anguish on his face after he missed it. So Halifax are going to look to try to steal off the inbound. If they can't steal it, they got to foul immediately. It's going to come down to a foul shooting competition here in this overtime period. They got to, if they can't get the steal off the inbound, they got to put them on the foul line in hopes that they miss one of the two or even both.
Well, Cooley won't be the guy taking the foul.
Fouled out.
He would have fouled out. So if I'm Moncton and I'm Dennis Truax, I'm saying throw the ball to whoever Cooley's got and make him make the decision.
Yeah, exactly, because it's either going to have to come from another guy that's going to double team and foul, or time is going to run out and expire, and they're going to win this game without even getting the opportunity to get the ball back. So you're right. It's in essence, I would do, and I'm not the coach, I would basically put Cooley on a big. Put Cooley on Robinson or whoever. I think it's Robinson that's in the game, or Dailey, or even DeRoche. But I would put him on one of the bigs away from their best free throw shooter, knowing that they still got to get the ball in, and knowing that whoever gets the ball, somebody's getting fouled, somebody's going to the free throw line. So if I was Coach Terrell, I put Juwan Cooley on one of the bigs that don't shoot free throws that great, and you run a risk, and you still run the risk, even if the ball does get into one of those bigs, with them actually corralling the pass in a tight situation, they might turn it over themselves and not catch it cleanly.
So inbound, and Sir will be the guy to commit the foul, sending Johnny Mahan to the line to shoot 2.
Well, there you go. See, great adjustment there by Coach Terrell and putting Juwan Cooley on the inbounder, DeRoche, where he doesn't have to force the 6th foul.
Good on the first is Mahan. Both teams out of timeouts, so the Rainmen will go. 13.7 left.
Now, if I was among the Miracles, I wouldn't even allow this Rainmen team. Oh!
And it's
they got to go. They got to go. Steve Sir's got to go. He's got to go. Don't worry about.
Rainmen down 2. Popped out to Cooley. Cooley off a screen. 4-3 to Harris for the tie, and the Miracles pull this one out in overtime. 103-101. Miracles go to 2-3. The Rainmen go to 0-5 after a tough fought battle. Miracles winning by 2.
Gotta like the effort by the Halifax Rainmen of getting back into this ball game, not giving up, fighting throughout the third quarter, fighting in the fourth quarter, not giving in, not relenting, overcoming deficits of 16 points, overcoming deficits in the fourth quarter of 10 points, and pushing this game to the brink into overtime and almost winning it at the end of regulation and almost tying it at the end of overtime. So my hat's off to this Rainmen team and showing progress, but nevertheless they go to 0-5. If you're the Moncton Miracles, you got to look at it in a standpoint where you had a 16-point lead and 10-point lead respectively and not able to close out on the road. You've got to be able to close out teams on the road, and you're looking at the statistics there. Give us the breakdown of the fourth quarter and points-wise.
Well, fourth quarter, the Rainmen outscored the Miracles 27-17.
Right.
They were able to hold the Miracles to 17 points in the fourth.
Right.
And even in the third, they won the third quarter as well for Halifax, 29-24. So for Halifax, some good things moving forward. And once they do get some depth, it will be a much more competitive team. But unfortunately, the stat is going to show they're 0-5.
Yeah, absolutely. After a great comeback and a good resolve, just wasn't unable to get it done in the closing moments. But I like the effort. I've seen a team that is coming together. I've seen the chemistry. The chemistry is there. You know, we talked about it. We talked to, you know, the heads of the organization. Talked to the front office of the Rainmen. They're still very positive. You talk to the head coach. He's still very positive. And when we're talking about chemistry, it's just that lack of depth, the lack of second unit, and having guys that come in and play big roles off the bench and having those numbers is the reason why they're 0-5.
Right now, well, the Rainmen did rebound the Miracles 61-48, so
right.
That's a great step forward. For the Miracles, Jermaine Dailey with 25 points, 8 rebounds. Stanley Robinson, 20 points, 6 boards. And Johnny Mahan, 19 points for him off the bench. Cornelius Vines, and I would be remiss to not mention his 9 points and 7 assists.
Yeah.
The other side of the things, I mean, Steve Sir with 30 points, leading all scorers, and Tim Parham, 15 points, 22 rebounds. So some progress made for the Halifax Rainmen tonight, but it was just short.
Yeah.
The next webcast that we have will be with the St. John Millrats in town, and that is on Sunday. So it's going to be an interesting week of practice. Hopefully the Rainmen can get some guys back healthy.
Yeah,
for
and get
Sunday's
some guys
game.
off of the acquirement. I mean, we're waiting on Johnson and Lawrence to get their FIBA clearance. 6'10" center and a 6'6" swing guy that graciously is needed for this Rainmen ball club. They need the bodies, and I mean, we hate making excuses. It's professional basketball. You hate to make excuses, but that is basically the Achilles heel, as you can see it, with guys logging big minutes in big situations. You know, it takes its toll down the stretch, and you've seen it. You've seen it, guys who just didn't have enough in the tank to finish in the end. Steve Sir, 30 points. Juwan Cooley with a big 15 points and 9 assists. I mean, those guys played huge minutes, and they have to do it because they just don't have the depth. But we will see it. We got a few more ball games to go. It's a 40 game regular season. All the teams make the playoffs.
Not like we're missing the playoffs.
Yeah, we're not missing the playoffs. So we can get the chemistry down and get the right mixture of guys in here, and I think we got the right mixture. I don't see, unless something really goes off the rails, a turnover of different players here in this organization this year. I think we got the right guys, and I think we're going to get it done in the end when it really counts. And just like Coach Truax told us, you don't win the championship in November, you win it in March.
Well, once again, the final. The Moncton Miracles, 103-101 in overtime over the Halifax Rainmen. And please join us next Sunday when the Rainmen take on the St. John Millrats. For Vince Williams, I am Mavs Gillis. Thanks for joining us. Have yourself a wonderful week.
They're playing with,
a limited roster. You only got 8 guys. 6 of the guys are bigs.
Yeah.
You got 2 guys logging minutes
minutes in the 1 and the 2 from filling the post, it takes its toll.
No, I know, big
It
time.
takes its toll big time, and you're looking for big, productivity out of those guys down the stretch. That's difficult.
Yeah, I know.
And you got, they had 3 or 4 guys running at these guys the whole game long, right? And then 5 minutes left in the fourth. Cooley's got to defend Nathan, who's 6'9" in the post.
No, I
He's
know.
on the brink of being, fouled out of the game because he's got 5 fouls. A lot of interesting
Yeah.
segues to that game. But I think they got a good team.
Did anybody get fouled out? No one? Did anybody?
Yeah. Rayvon Barber fouled.
Barber fouled out.
Okay. That was huge. George Good did pick up a slack a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just one of the game with a finish.
When did God foul out?
It was mid-4th, I believe. It was off a more of a foul, too.
Yes, it was, what was that? Right here. Yeah. Right here, it was off 18, 20 feet away from the basket, off
Okay.
the ball.
Do we have the final stats here?
Yeah.
Right here.
Oh, all right. Thanks a lot. Any idea what the
28. That was good attendance. That was a good game.
Except for PJ showing up.